Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's John and Jenna with Flippin' Ain't Easy, and yet another fast week and a kind of a weird Friday. I had a great sales day yesterday, and today, almost as I predicted, not so hot, just a couple sales today. So hopefully you're doing better, but it just seems to be a pattern where midweek sales seem to be stronger over the last few weeks, which has never been the case on eBay. And it makes you scratch your head sometimes. So hopefully we can rebound this evening, make it into a decent salvageable day. I think I maybe have like 150, 160 in sales. So for a Friday, it's really not ideal. So hopefully you guys are doing better than we are with that on that end. But I got to tell you, I've been spending a lot of time getting things organized. Got a couple of those huge racks that my buddy, he's leaving to Italy, and he's like, I can't pay 20,000 move all my stuff, so I need you to come and get these racks. So it made me revamp everything that was going on in the garage, and we got the 2 racks up. Haven't had to move out anything to accommodate them, and I got to tell you, I wish I would have had these racks in place even sooner. So it's just a cleaner setup than I had before, and maybe in future videos I'll be able to show it to you guys. So today's topic, and this is nothing new. This was announced on the eBay seller check-in. This is the new features coming to the mobile app. Now, it doesn't surprise anyone that eBay is continually adding features to the mobile app. They would prefer you to do as much of your stuff as you can on eBay through the app. That's kind of where technology is going. That's their focus more so than on the web, which is why you'll see new features introduced to the app before they even see the PC, which, it kind of alienates those who just would rather do their work on the PC, or have maybe they're more streamlined to do their listings on the PC. But then again, it is what it is. Wanted to just kind of go over a few of these things before we get started. So if you guys would bear with me here just a second, I'll get us set up here. Oops, the wrong one. Share that. Okay, so I think I have 2 screens for some reason. Bear with me a second. I'm all over the place. Okay, so it says, watch now, new product. Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can see us, and then to the center, okay, they see the screen. It says, we're not going to watch any of these videos, but I'll just go over the highlights of it here from the seller update. I believe it was Thursday was the seller check-in. I didn't go to it. I had other things that were more important going on with business than to spend an hour. But apparently there's some things that were announced, which is usually not the case at that one. Our latest product updates at the event, they announced 3, they say exciting, I'm not going to say it, product updates that sellers have been asking for. Product research, now that's formerly known as Terapeak. It's coming to mobile. Now I checked the app, it's not there for me. But once this is launched, this will allow sellers to research on the go. So I think that's very important to have. The more information you can have at your fingertips, not just 90 days data, but up to 2 years of data, going back that far, it'll help you make better buying decisions when you're out and about, yard sales, thrift stores, bin stores. You might find that something has sold well over the last 90 days, but seasonally, the time of year you're buying it, maybe it's not so hot, and you can go back and check that data over 2 years. So I think it's a great thing. Terapeak has always been pretty good, but we've been limited to it unless you're willing to go into your browser on your phone or your iPad when you're out and about and really mess with that. And many people aren't. You're kind of limited to that tool once you get home and you've already bought the items by then. So another thing they're talking about is photo backgrounds for your items powered by AI. Now, look, for me, it's like they never did a good job of removing the background to begin with, the white background on many listings or many items or photos. It would always maybe take half the photo and process it correctly. The other half would still leave your original background in there. I'm skeptical, to be honest with you. Photo Room does it right, and they're trying to be like Photo Room and how they do it. And if it's powered by AI, I believe it allows you to say, like, I have a set of golf clubs, or I have a golf club, and with photo room, you can say background of a golf course, right? And it'll give you choices that you can accept, like AI generated backgrounds based on what you're saying. You can say have a background of a beach or sunset on a beach, that kind of thing. And it's kind of cool, but if it's done right, and I don't know, I know eBay is touting AI and all that, but they haven't shown us yet, they haven't shown me yet that they're able to handle AI as they say they will. So maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I'm very skeptical of that. Great new shipping options for eBay standard envelope. And I don't know if that's across the board or if that's just for the app. It doesn't make sense if it would just be for the app. And, you know, they go in the winter seller update, spring cleaning, which I can tell you, spring cleaning, that's a great thing to start doing. My area was so bad, guys, and I'm glad I got these racks where I can get in there. We kind of talk about it on tomorrow's podcast. You guys aren't familiar with it. It's Bearded Picker, myself. This is our third week that we're going to launch a podcast, and it's sort of the spinoff of the eBay Power Hour. But it is the Profit Playbook podcast, and I think this last episode was very, very good. And we get into organizing and being efficient. Then it talks about a lot of different things, product research on mobile. You can go and check all these videos out. You know, again, it's the raw type of thing that you expect from eBay when they make these videos. So I just thought it was a good starting topic to discuss. And it's weird about this whole thing, how eBay is starting to really focus on the app, and good for them for doing that. And it just makes me wonder why, like, a site like Bonanza doesn't even have an app. I mean, we made a sale like 3 days ago, and I didn't even know we made the sale. Of course, you know me, I didn't check it. And I got a follow-up email saying, are you going to ship this thing or not? Pretty much. And I'm like, oh, crap. So I ended up shipping it out. But
no, didn't it want us to leave feedback?
No, it said that this is an automated message on your buyer's behalf, wanting you to give us tracking information, give us an update on the package. Oh. And I'm like, I didn't even know about the package. So here we are, scrambling around to get it out. And I hope they don't hold it against me. But nonetheless, if Bonanza had an app, I'd get the notifications on my phone, just like I get with Mercari, Poshmark, eBay, and you just don't get that. And that's really a lot left to be desired. And I almost think that Bonanza has a lot of potential, but they refuse to get with the times.
Don't you have your PayPal notifications on?
For whatever reason, I'm not getting them. I only got my email notification from Bonanza that got my attention. So
maybe you need to look into that.
But here's the thing. What enhancements do you think would be beneficial for the app? Is there something, because I know eBay watches these, and we're the beta testers, and they rarely ask me for my input, but if they watch these things, maybe they'll collectively take an idea and put it into motion. I don't know. But if you have an idea, what would help you when you're using the app, what would that be? What's the pain points that you deal with when you're using the app that would be solved if they just added a feature? So I'd like to know that. Now, you guys have the Punta Cana hat on. Punta Cana. I guess I'll get it right if I ever go there. But I got to say thank you to our buddy, Mike Camparelli. Sent a nice little note with a couple of hats. She was interested in doing her hair today, so she didn't want to do the hat thing today.
I forgot, actually.
Yeah. But love the hat. I mean,
yes, I love my hat, Mike. Thank you.
So, of course, Mike's going to, take the time to send it. I'm going to take the time to wear it because that's the least I can do. But thank you, Mike. Awesome. And, thank you for thinking about us. I mean, it's you're on vacation, and the last thing, I would think you'd want to do is think about reselling and stuff. But there you are thinking about us. So thank you. I appreciate that. Mm-hmm. And speaking of Mike, he's with us. Hope everyone is selling a lot. My sales have been roller coastery lately. 2 to 3 the last few days, but today was strong, not complaining. And, I guess the important number that you really want to focus on is, and that's what I've tried to focus on more, is where is your money at by the time, because we have weekly payouts. So where is your money at by the time you get to like Monday evening, because any new sales you get on Monday aren't going to get processed in time for payout on Tuesday. So are you getting the same range of money on a weekly basis? And even with the inconsistencies in sales, we've generally been able to say that. So it's been pretty good. Mike Camparelli says, eBay has been promising to make the app and the PC identical in implementation, but I haven't seen it, particularly for listing. I always have to jump between the phone and PC to complete a listing. Yeah, there's always a few things. Like, for instance, one thing that I'm noticing that I'm doing is, you guys know I build my listing sort of ahead of time. I know what I'm getting, but I'm not quite sure the condition that I'm going to get it in. With liquidation, you just never know. You just get a couple photos that you're bidding off of, and you're hopeful that it's somewhat in that condition. So I'll get an item and I'll have it anywhere from used to brand new. It's depending on what it is that I get, the condition. But I have to put like open box, and I'm not quite sure if there's any defects or dings or anything like that. Sometimes I have to go used. And for that, I go into my item description. I change that. The condition description, I have that set up ahead of time. But when I get it, I'm like, this thing's brand new, or this thing's really beat up. But I can't make the change of the verbiage I put in the item condition description in the app. And if I go into my already formatted item description, it wants to unformat it for me to go in there and make changes. So I go into the side of the house, I save my changes that I've made on the app, go in the house, change that stuff, save it, and I'm back in the app, open it up again, add whatever I have to add, and launch it. I like to launch them from the app, is what I've been trying to do lately. So there's a lot going on, and there's a lot to be desired with the app. As many, they're adding all these bells and whistles, but if they just get the basics down and right, that would be my pain point. The one thing I'd have eBay fix is anything that you could do on the PC, you should be able to do on the app. Mike says it would be nice to be able to take a video and load it on the listing from the phone. There you go. There's another example. Anything you could do on the PC, you can do on the app. But yet here we are getting all this other fluff, and they're still not able to get the basics. Here's another one: to have full access to all the shipping options without having to get on the computer. Mainly do my listings from my phone, but have to use the PC if I want to get fancy. There you go. See, more examples. A lot of good stuff there. eBay, if you're listening, these are some pain points. If you want to get us away from the PC, then you really need to get the basics integrated into this app. Beard is not first, but he will be first tomorrow on the podcast. So be sure to tune in. Got Archie Biscuit Butt. What's up, FA fam? Nice to hear from you. Haven't heard from Archie in a minute.
I know. I was just going to say that.
He's got a new reseller friend in town, and they've been hitting the yard sales and stuff.
Friend?
No warehouse involved, though. That's the only downside to the new friend is it's always been a running joke that if Archie ever met somebody, and they're friends, by the way, it's not a romantic thing, but they'd have to have a warehouse. But I don't know their status when it comes to that. Silver Hair says, I better say hi now because John always gets behind in the chat. Hi, everyone. We have EVS in the house. Thank you for being here.
Hello.
Andy Reno in Indiana in the house. And we have Ping G is with us today. We have Flip It Good. And I've never seen this person before, but hello to you, Nikitana. Hello. On the lookout for tornadoes in H-Town. That's Houston, I guess. We were in the middle of listing and had to stop due to power outages.
Oh, no.
You heard anything like that?
No.
Tyler's out in Austin, right?
Yeah. He's not in Houston.
Rosie says, hi, John and Jenna. Hope the week is treating you well. I'd love to see all the AI background removal on PC too. That'd be very helpful. Hi, all. And let's hope it's not one of those things where they're going to start ignoring the PC, because there's going to be a segment of the population that just, they don't want to deal with the app. Look, they have everything set up on their computer. Maybe they have a nice little laptop. They have a routine. And by changing everything only on the app, you're not allowing the folks who want to continue to use their laptop or PC. So eBay really needs to make sure that these features that they're implementing are going to be part of the PC as well. Larry Todd says, hi, Ping, crazy cool lady from Cali. And Jovial Juggler says, hey, FAA fam, happy National Dumbstruck Day.
Dumbstruck Day. What does that mean?
What if you're dumbstruck every day?
What if I'm dumbstruck now?
Ping G says, the background removal tool is already on the PC, but not the new add different backgrounds like Photo Room offers. But that's what they're talking about. They're talking about having an AI background. And if it's anything like Photo Room, where you can just type in anything, it'll try to give you that background. It's really cool. Maybe you have really cluttered tabletop that you're taking photos on, and you can then say, have it like on a concrete ledge or on a dining room table, a really fancy kitchen background, all kinds of things you can do. And it's really, really cool. Paul Rose says, happy Friday, John, Jen, and chat. Thanks for being here, Paul. We got Maya says, hello, everyone. Hope your week on eBay is better than mine. 3 cancellations this week, 2 just yesterday. I'm at the point where I actually get mad whenever I see an eBay sale notification. Well, you know, it's weird. I had the weirdest cancellation request. I sold that set of women's golf clubs. It's like a 13 club set that I sold, the entire set, no bag, just the clubs. And I sold it for, I believe I took an offer for $75. And it was coming down for I had it for $99.99 for the whole set plus shipping. And then almost an hour later, I get a notification they wanted to cancel. So I'm like, okay, well, where does that come from? It can't be, they saw the comparable item when they're checking out and they said, oh, we don't want this, we want this, because it was too long of a period, because they had already paid like 30, 40 minutes prior. So I don't know, maybe they just thought, you know what, golf's not for them. Who knows? But we took the cancellation, relisted it. And I'm sure this is the time of year you can sell golf clubs very quick. So Maya sold a pair of $100 shoes this morning on eBay and wasn't even happy. Just felt sick to my stomach. So are you afraid? I know you're afraid maybe of the cancellation. We're past that, past the hour where the buyer is likely to cancel. Are you kind of just worried about returns, that kind of thing? Look, I'm loving sales. Once they happen, it gets me going. It gets me motivated. So hopefully whatever is causing you to feel that way can change, because that's not feeling bad about what you do, especially when you're doing well, shouldn't be a thing. Rain Galaro says, happy Friday. Hope everyone has a great weekend. I hope so too.
I hope so too. We have rain. It's raining here.
It's raining.
Very moist.
Yes, raining. I was playing one final round of golf with my buddy who's going overseas. He's like, come on and play. And I'm like, well, the forecast says it's going to be very windy. It was like 35 to 40 mile an hour winds. And we were like the only ones on the golf course. And what I didn't know is that it was supposed to rain a little bit, but instead it was so cold that it snowed, and it was snowing sideways while we're playing. So it was very, very unsettling, a very fun but yet miserable round of golf, I'll tell you that. Ruben Almanza says, hello, thanks for being here. And Larry Todd says, Jenna looks like a supermodel.
I don't know about all that, but thank you.
See, I got to tell you, it's comments like that keep her getting herself fancy on these shows. So
it's the only thing in life that I have to look forward to.
She loves it. She has the whole setup.
It is my therapy. It's my alone time. I have been sick for 3 weeks, you guys. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. And
it's still not gone. So I'm just trying to push through and make it normal.
Yeah. Whatever it is, it's kind of hitting our stomachs. She's been feeling nauseous. I've been like, my stomach's been in knots if I eat anything. In fact, I just had a glass of orange juice this morning for breakfast, and that was enough to put my stomach like in crazy mode. So
I'm sick and tired of the nausea. Like, I don't know. And no, I'm not pregnant. No, I can't get pregnant. And so that's not a thing. But I've drank ginger ale. You name it, I've done it.
Joe Samard says, howdy, y'all. Thanks for being here, Joe.
Howdy.
Ruben's had a lot of returns, and that's where you get the sinking feeling. It's like, oh, really? I really thought this was a good sale. It's a feeling of disappointment. You feel like everything went well with the transaction. You didn't get that buyer who wanted to ask 30,000 questions. In fact, you never heard anything from the buyer. They paid full price. You shipped it out. Everything looks great. And then it's even more disappointing the later you get the return, right? So you're kind of expecting if the buyer is going to complain or say anything about the item, it's going to happen like a day or two once they get it. But it's even more disappointing when you get closer to that 30 days and you're like, oh, really? What happened now? And you know you're not really dealing with a return. You're dealing with a warranty at that point. Unfortunately, eBay makes us warranty our items. It's because, you know, Mercari, 3 days. By then, they have an idea if this is what they ordered or not. Let's be real. It's not a 30-day return policy. It's a 30-day warranty is what we're offering. Stephen J78, Jenna looking like a movie star today. And
thank you.
We have Kevin Hawthorne from Lakeland, Florida. We have Mike Sellers says happy Friday FAE from Mike and Ranger.
Ranger must be the one photoed. He's a puppy dog.
Oh,
See
yeah.
his tongue?
Yeah. Silver hair stacker. I like huge racks. Oh, wait.
We do too.
And I bought a pair of them. Yes. Copper Cat says, hello from Arkansas. Here to learn. I didn't buy them. I was given them. Hello from Arkansas. Here to learn something new. Love your videos.
Aww.
Well, thank you. Awesome. Well, I
We're
try.
glad you're here.
I try. I can't promise you're going to learn anything new, but there's a lot of knowledgeable folks in chat, and it's a pretty good community, and we kind of learn from each other. Henri Squaw says, howdy, good sales week, finally.
Yay!
That's good to hear. And we have Keena. Madalena says, hi, guys. Just found you a few days ago as I was looking for some info about Vero design infringement. I'm hooked now. Keep up the good work. Well, awesome.
Oh, well, thank you. Welcome.
Thanks for being here. Love to see new folks, not only give us comments on the videos, but join us with the chat. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
Jerry's with us. Says, hi, John, Jenna, and FAE family.
Hi, Jerry.
Let's see. Beard is only here to cause chaos.
Chaos coordinator's here.
And then we have TreeCat with us.
Yay.
They're here to answer any questions you might have. A lot of folks have been signing up using the code. Use the link down below. Now, that way you're guaranteed to lock in the rates. Because if you don't use a code, you're going to get the higher rates. So don't do that. And they have not yet gone to pay mode yet to where it's going to cost you anything to use the tool. That's like another week or two, I believe, before that happens. So go on, use the link, try it out if you're looking to cross-post over between eBay, Poshmark, Mercari, and vice versa. It's certainly a great way to do it. And there's some features like scheduled end item / relist, which is the same thing as sell similar. And you can schedule it ahead of time. So that way you never have to do that for that item again. It does it every so many days. You select how many days. It's not yet a feature yet, but that's coming. And also they are working down the road on a share feature for Poshmark that will allow you to go in there and share your items with the automated tool.
That's going to be so cool because then we won't have to use all these other different, we use Posher VA right now.
It's like $25.
It's $25 a month. And so it would be so nice to have everything all inclusive in one app doing all the work. So we are super excited about that.
And we have Devon Short says,
Hi,
hello.
Devon.
And Lenny K says, Scott, are you moist today?
Oh, yeah.
His beard might be moist.
Oh,
Mark Suddick says, hi, John and Jenna. Did you get my email about the new insane eBay policy? I know you had sent me an email, and I swear to you, I'm not saying it because I'm saying it. When I say that I'm just so swamped, super swamped.
Yeah, it's been a very, very busy week between ASD, friends in town, just regular everyday business, liquidation, all of the things. Plus, we're trying to get better. It's been a lot. It's been a very hectic week. He's been gone every day, I feel like.
And I'm only halfway done with the garage. That's tomorrow's the last day of that, hopefully. But that's going to be.
Hopefully, you can get back to him.
No, I will. I will certainly. But I just want him to know I'm not, ignoring it. But if you have information about that, put it in the chat. Let's see what you got. Bama says, "What's up, guys? Hi, John and Jenna.
Hey,
thanks for being here, Josh." Beard says it did stop raining, so that's good. It's going to stop raining here like sometime in the morning, so I don't know what that's going to do to yard sales. I do know we have my favorite.
It's raining tomorrow.
Tomorrow
morning. Hold on.
Well, that's going to kind of mess things up. My favorite type of yard sale is tomorrow. We have one that's about 2-3 miles away. That is a community yard sale. And, I was hoping to be able to go, but maybe they'll have it still. Maya says, I need to see if anyone's made a video walking through using Terapeak. I get very confused every time I try to use Terapeak. I use it just for basic stuff. I'm sure there's other features that I don't mess with, but you simply type in the item, maybe the model number, what it is you're looking for. The more information about it, the more it pares it down. And then you can go back. It'll show you all the solds for that. And you can say within 1 year, within 2 years. Sometimes if it's over 90 days, you can't click into the listing to see anything more than the title and what it's sold for.
It doesn't say
But it's a very, very good tool to get you at least an understanding. Has the market changed for this item? Has it remained the same over 2 years? Has it sold more or less this last year as compared to 2 years ago? So it's a good tool to have just over and above just the standard 90-day sales data that you have when you're walking around with your phone. Larry Todd says, a toilet seat on a beach would look great. That's awesome. Semperfi is in the house, got the negative removed. AMD, or probably mean the app when doing certain things like refunding logs me out during the process. Yeah, it logs me out when I'm trying to go into my SKU. It still gets stuck. And sometimes I'm able to cancel out to get out of it because I know it's stuck. And other times it sits there for like 5 seconds and I know it's just a matter of time before the app just dumps itself. So, and then you go in and you're hopeful that it saved your work, and a lot of times it doesn't. Donald Loke says, hello, everyone. Well, thank you for being here. Maya says that she can only process returns on the desktop. It always logs her out on the phone, even when she uses the Chrome browser. And then we have Lilac Seller Meg. Thanks for being here.
Hi, Meg.
Simply Shenanigans says, hey, John and Jenna in chat. Thank you for being here.
Hey.
Maya had a weird glitch last night on eBay. It was in the middle of a listing, and her entire store disappeared for 20 minutes.
Oh.
All of the listings. I bet you that was a scary feeling.
That's a scary feeling.
Beard had a bonanza sale today. Already shipped. Notifications on PayPal are the key. And I don't know why I have the app, PayPal app. So I don't know.
You need to check your settings.
I don't know why it's not showing me, but all's good. We got it out. It was an easy, was already packaged, ready to go. So just had to slap the label on it. Paul says, I mainly just use the app to send offers, check certain things. Couldn't do the listings on my usual standards on the app. I have a desktop. Why would I use a tiny screen with less functionality? I could tell you, for me, it's like all my stuff's out there in the garage. So if I can take it with me, have it in my hand, and then just do what I have to do and not come in here. Back in 2019, before the app was still here, we had it, but 2019, I would take totes of stuff from the garage, bring it in here, do all my listings and everything. Photo table was like the table within my room here, not out there. And I do everything in here with the item, get it listed. That was my routine. But as they've added features to the app, it's allowed me to feel like I don't have to do that anymore. And yeah, it is a hybrid way I list, kind of going back and forth, but it still works well for us.
Maybe we should get a laptop for the garage.
I just don't know where I want.
We can keep TreeCat running on it in the background on that one rather than my computer.
Why not on your computer?
I don't know. I'm just saying.
Or we can run it on the laptop that's in the.
Well, no, I'm just saying for your convenience to have the laptop there. It would be nice.
It wouldn't be. If it is convenient, I'll get it. But it's not convenient. Maya says, yeah, I never list on the app myself. Mike says, you look beautiful without the hat.
Oh, thank you, Mike.
Biff Boffo says, right now my app says I have no items to ship and no offers to send, even though the desktop says the truth. So I guess I would just take a bare minimum app that works. Too much. Yeah, that's what we want. Just give us what we see on the PC, and anything above and beyond that is just a bonus. But they haven't done that yet. Chastity says to add a video from the app would be great. I have to work around while inside the app, but would love to be able to add directly. And it's almost like it's incomplete. The whole adding a video was what, 2 years ago when they first started doing it. A while ago. And it's almost like maybe they ran into a problem on the phone. Maybe it would work with some phones. Maybe the older phones wouldn't be able to handle it. And therefore they decided to say, you'll just leave it on the PC. But it just doesn't make sense how you're incorporating all these new features, but you still haven't finished incorporating this one. And no explanation. Again, they could come out and say, look, if you're looking for video on the app, it's a ways away, whatever the reason, insert reason here. And I'm sure most people would understand and, not expect it. Paul says, I had a first thing this morning too on both accounts, happened last week too, just another glitch. I panicked the first time. Mm-hmm. And it's not like the one that happened like in 2021 in the month of September, where the clothing sellers lost all their photos, and there's a lot of PO'd people. So let's hope that never happens again on eBay. Duncan VR's with us. Says, since the eBay crash last week, sales have been slow to crickets. I'm using the slow time to list more. Don't forget to send your hit the like button sale commission. 10% Jenna, she needs a burger.
I don't need one.
Yeah.
But I really want those taquitos that I didn't get to have last night.
You do or don't?
I would like them.
Okay. That's another thing. Uber Eats decided, this was so crazy, so maddening to me. You guys ever use Uber Eats?
John was so
I was irritated.
mad.
It's like, as someone who's done the Uber Eats thing, not by choice, but it was out of necessity. We did it for a number of months. You pick up the damn order and you drive it to the new place. And if there's another order this person has to pick up along the way, it'll say, hey, they have another stop to make, and they'll deliver your food. So I'm trying to get it so we eat before Beard and I do the recording of the podcast. And so we ordered at 6. It said it would be here by 6:25. It didn't get here until 7. And I watched the app and it shows where the driver is. She stopped at a Starbucks. Either that or she used DoorDash and was doing something else. But the food got here. Her tequilas are all nasty, soggy, and just not good. So we shared my meal, which was a mess because it looked like they just slung the bag around and it was a mess. So this is not an Uber Eats channel, but I'm sure many people eat. Many people out there eat. Last time I checked, and
unfortunately, Uber Eats has been a ongoing thing for a little while now, and because John doesn't have time to cook, and he doesn't like what I make, so.
Well, that's debatable. But as far as I have so much going on with the business that's what has suffered lately, is the cooking part of it.
Yeah, the kitchen has been staying fairly clean. I have to tell you. Not mad about it.
There you go. There you go. I always asked her, she complains about me being a messy cook. Would you rather me not cook this delicious meal or just leave your kitchen, the way it is?
Sometimes I would just rather you not make a mess. But you haven't cooked in a while a home cooked meal. So I really think I think we both deserve a home.
So you're regretting those statements?
Never.
Okay, well, it might take a while. Maya says, yeah, it was probably the same time. Aren't you a few hours ahead of us? It was around midnight Eastern time. Yeah, I think Paul's in the UK.
Yeah.
So, but it's all happening at the same time, Larry Todd, my sales are a good average. Funny how consistency works. Mm-hmm. Yes, consistency is your biggest tool for success. I'm a firm believer. A lot of people say, well, I don't list every day. But I really think that your sales would benefit on eBay if you became consistent. That's just my personal feelings on it. Maya says, I thought I was banned or something, honestly. And we have MJ says, do you do certain things on the app as well as certain things on the laptop? My eyesight is not the best, so I barely use the phone. For me, it's so much easier with my photos. So I take the photos with my phone, and once I'm done with my photos, I go right into photo room. Maybe what I like to use is the blur feature. So it focuses on the item and everything in the background is blurred. So it really makes the item pop. I love that one. And I save it to my phone, and then I just simply upload them to my listings on the app. If I had to do that differently to where I was putting those photos on the listing with the PC, I would use Dropbox to send over the photos to a folder I have in the computer. It only adds a few minutes, but it's a lot faster, more convenient to do it within the app on the phone. Lilac Seller Meg says, John, that condition description issue is my exact problem with launching from the app. So I have to do all my drafts on the desktop and then launch from the app. Waste of time. Yeah, it is not efficient to go back and forth, and it would be ideal to go in and be able to change my condition description, which isn't an option on the app, and or edit my current, because all I want to do is edit what I have on the bottom, talking about maybe there's something wrong with the item, add a line or two to my item description, but I can't without sacrificing my formatting that I have in there. Lilac Seller Meg says, and maybe I'm missing it, but I don't see a way to adjust my business shipping policies from the app either. You can't. So again, there's a lot left to be desired. eBay needs to focus on the basics before they start getting fancy. Brett says, happy Friday. Beautiful hair, Jenna. On the app, I want the ability to update shipping policies. May go out of town and want ability to update ship time. I use the desktop eBay 99% of the time at home. And yes, you're right. When I'm out and about, let's say I'm gone for 5 days, I don't use the vacation mode. I'll use 5 days handling time, knowing I'll be back on the 6th day. And then tomorrow I'll change it to 4 days. Then the day after 3 days, 2 days, 1. But I find myself in the Safari browser on my iPad, and I'm making those changes there. And it's a little more difficult to navigate. But when I'm gone, I can't do it on the app.
Yeah.
Let's see. Henri Squaw seconds the video from the phone to be able to launch a video of the item. How many people use that feature, by the way? I hear a lot of people when that came out kind of poo-pooed on the idea of, you don't like when I say that word.
I hate it.
But they don't like to use video. And to me, photos don't show functionality. If something has a function and you're just taking photos, I think to be able to insert a video that shows this thing works so that someone is on the fence, like, I'm not sure, don't want to deal with a return. You show them that it works, and I think it really makes them feel a little bit more comfortable with the transaction. My whole foliageism says, use my laptop for everything. Okay.
Foliageism.
Yeah, I don't know what that means. Bearded Picker says, sellers, please fix search. eBay, look at the app for your non-existent sales. Yeah. eBay does need to, they told us at the end of last year they were going to fix search, and I don't believe that they have. I haven't heard a lot of complaints, but I don't think it's still fixed yet. Devon says, a girl or a boy? Archie. Can't say. I think he left the building. I haven't seen him comment ever since he first jumped on. So
Archie's been
preoccupied.
A little distant.
Preoccupied. Ping G says, screen on a phone is just way too small for my old eyes. I do nothing on the phone except make a phone call in an emergency. Everything I do regarding eBay is the computer where I have large screens. You can change the font, like on the iPhone. You can, one time she looked at my phone and she's like, what the hell is going on with your phone? I changed the font to go up one size.
It was so big.
And
like,
she was giving me
I thought I had bad eyes.
You do.
I do.
Actually, you do. But it's like, if I have a choice between squinting and just not, I prefer not to. Maya says, okay, Paul, then yeah, it was probably the same outage that happened here. I believe it probably was. Yeah. Tommy says, I do 99.9999% of the phone. I print labels and scan sheet daily on desktop, and that's it. Have to do what's best for your workflow. I agree with that.
Absolutely.
But if part of your workflow involves a feature that's not a part of the app, you either dump that or you find a way to make it work. And I really, because buyers don't, eBay makes the listings to where they have to click into a link just to see your item description on the app. So knowing that most buyers won't bother with that, I want to make sure that I have an item condition description, which does show, at least like the first line at least will show on the app to say, hey, this is used, or This is open box and great condition. I want them to see that and not be like a normal buyer who doesn't even bother. Lilac Seller, I've never found a way to access my templates on the app either. You can't. Not that I know of. In fact, you can't. The only thing you can really do is tell it to do an AI word game with your item specifics, and you got to go in there and edit all that. It's not, at the end of the day, it's to me not worth it. Spam Banshee says, we've been chatting with peeps about TreeCat, but some don't like the per item fee and would prefer a monthly fee. Do you know if TreeCat would offer monthly fees as an option? The model is more of, as you do well, they do well. If you don't do well, then they don't make any money. And I believe that there's some people that look at it and say, yeah, that it's kind of troublesome to them. But let's face it, there's a lot of people who cross post and can't even make enough money to get the fees back for the tool that they're paying for. Or, they're weighing getting rid of it because they can't justify, I made $150 on the other sites and, I got to pay $40, $50 for the tool. It makes sense that as you're doing well, then, they do well. It's like hiring a VA to do this for you. And the more you sell, the lower that price goes down.
I think it's a great. I can't wait for all of the features to be out.
Yeah, and you're not limited by how many items you can cross post. Like some of the other companies, they'll give you like a package for like $40 a month. You can you have like 1,000 listings to work with, right? There's no cap like that on TreeCat. And with the other features that are coming to the software, like eventually the share feature for Poshmark, you're not going to have to pay $25 a month for that other tool.
Yeah.
It's gonna work itself out. So these are all baked in to your success. So as you succeed, then they make money, and you're not paying all these extra fees out of pocket, not a monthly fee or anything like that. Biff says, I'll always list on the PC. If they just keep the same as it is now, that's fine. See, a lot of people don't want it to change, but my thing is, if you're going to add features, add them to both platforms. Give people the option to be able to use whatever they want to use on either one, and make the experience similar. And don't reward people for, being able to use a phone. Some people have older phones. The idea of using an app, it just slows down their whole routine, and there's no need to do that. Beard says, give John a few minutes. He will drumstick Jenna. Dumbstruck Jenna. Drumstick.
Wow.
It almost looks like drumstick.
Inappropriate.
Yeah, it is inappropriate, but that word is inappropriate. It's your new word of the day. Dumbstruck is your new moist of the day. Bearded PokeTuber, same here, Tommy. Only use the PC to print labels, set my markdown sales coupons, and bulk add my custom SKUs after listing. Everything else I do from the app. Brett says, sales-wise, Monday through Wednesday are all 600 plus days. That's awesome, Brett.
Yes.
Thursday, today, half the sales. Overall, I'm up 20% net sales over the last 31 days and selling 6+ daily. Steady sales, Posh picked up, and a few on Grail too.
Yes.
There you go. Love to hear that. Tommy says, imagine eBay would have to eventually do like a hybrid site, but imagine the cost of paying people to run the site and app is way more than necessary. Well, then leave the app as it is and don't introduce any new features on the app. You can't allow the PC experience to deteriorate for the idea that they're with the times. They're the total opposite of Bonanza. They're with the times. They're introducing AI. They're doing all this stuff, but a big part of their user base are older folks that really don't want to mess with the phone. If they were to introduce eBay to your Gen Zs and getting them involved, then I can see it, but they haven't really done that. Andy Reno says, I have a set of vintage wood handle golf clubs worth anything.
Wow.
Not to a player, of course, but to a collector, maybe. It's funny. My dad, when he was with us, this is like 5 or 6 years ago, he had bought one of those things, those wooden golf clubs, and he went and had it regripped.
Your dad.
Why would you do that?
Such a funny guy.
I
sure miss.
Yeah, why would you do that?
Yeah,
but
sure miss
it had no value after that. Let me just put it this way.
He would tell us if I were to laugh at him, he would just say, F off. I'm out of here.
Bearded Picker says, welcome back, Tommy. It's hard to be entertaining and smart in the chat at the same time. And then TreeCat says the spam. Thanks for the feedback. I'll pass that request for a monthly fee on to the team. I do know when I first came on board, they had a thing where they had it like it was $10, and you have no ability to use the delist or relist feature. But it was just cross listing. But they decided, you know what? This is such a great tool. It works so well that we're just going to make it part of the main focus of the business and add features around that. Maya says, I think the reason I was upset because the last 2 sales I made on eBay were immediately followed by a cancellation request. So I was like, here we go again. Yeah. And if you look long-term, so if you focus long-term and allow these anomalies to happen, they're going to happen. You sell enough items on the platform, you're going to get a lot of you're going to get bad buyers, you're going to be getting buyers who want to do returns. You're going to get people who want to cancel, and just chalk it up as part of the business and look more long-term. And that's why, just talking on another subject, instead of looking at one bad sales day versus another one, like yesterday, just jokingly saying, hey, today's probably going to be a bad day. I'm trying to focus my attention and my focus on where am I at for the week?
On the whole,
for the week.
Collective.
What am I going to be expecting, by Tuesday to be deposited in my account? That's my main focus. And usually it works itself out.
Yes.
Let's see. You got some thunder going on in OC.
Brett has OC thunder.
And we got Devon says 56 is high in Ohio. We're right there with you.
Ohio? Does that say Ohio?
Idaho, but I'm sure Ohio is just cold.
Idaho.
Tommy says, man, I even do markdowns and promoted listings on the phone. It's not as easy, but I hate sitting at a PC. I always end up wasting hours on naughty sites.
Oh my God.
Well,
Tommy!
Here's the thing. You can do markdown sales. I don't know if I've been able to see it yet. According to the little video they had on that page, you can start messing with the whole markdown sale on your phone. I'm assuming it's all tied into the regular markdown sale that you would have in your seller hub on the PC. But to me, I set all my sales up in advance on the PC 6 months out, 2-week intervals, and that's just how I roll with it. Dawn says, you both get better. Yeah, we're going to try. That's for sure.
We're trying. I cannot tell you how done with being sick I am.
MJ says, do you guys take the C shots or the new V shots? No and no.
No and no.
And this is the way we roll. All natural. Tommy says, Scott, I've been on staycation for 2 weeks. Just got back into work yesterday. So that's where you've been.
He's been working on his honey-do list before he gets a divorce.
Yeah, my honey-do list was becoming a honey, you are getting a divorce list. So I had to take a break.
Mm-hmm.
So I know you're working on some projects at home, so I'm wondering if that took a back seat too. Gail Carlson says, hello, John and Jenna and FAE family.
Hi,
Thank you for being here. Larry Todd says, PC is my life. And MJ says, sold an antique photograph of Theodore Roosevelt at the White House circa 1908 for $500. Paid $45 for a bunch of antique photos, and that was one that was in it.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. My whole foliagism says, Jana, your eye makeup looks professionally done. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Bama, Jaybird says, I'm an app guy wherever there is as well. It's what I started with, and I've just stayed with it. Yeah, if you have a routine, continue to do it. Let's just hope that the things that eBay adds to the app doesn't foul you up, and cause a disruption to your normal routine. Scott says, I'm showing great restraint with the moist beard comments. I should get a medal.
Well, you lost that one because you just said it.
TreeCat, we won't be charging any additional feed for these upcoming new features. Schedule, delist, relist, and posh closet sharing. It'll be all inclusive. So it's baked in. It's all baked in to the price. So, you only pay what you sell, and all these features are going to be involved in that price. So again, it's free for the next couple weeks. May or may not be for you, but you won't know unless you try it. So click on the link down below and start doing it. And by the way, those of you who signed up for TreeCat, there's a lot of you who signed up but haven't done the work. We see it. You have an account and haven't done the cross listing. Start getting your items cross listed. Use the tool. why not?
Because you're not getting charged yet.
You're not getting charged yet. Not at least for another week or two. Maybe, I don't know. It's the range of dates. They're trying to work it out to get it all integrated. But in the meantime, it's free. So it's not enough to sign up. It's like going to a yard sale, buying a truckload of stuff, going around town, buying all kinds of good stuff, and then you just dump it in your garage, never to be listed again. So get the stuff up. Use the tool. I'm telling you guys, you will
we appreciate
thank me for it later.
Using the link. However, you got to do the work.
You got to do the work. Paul says, moist metal. Sorry, Jen, I caved. And Andy Sometta,
you're fired, Paul.
Andy Sometta has a frog.
Froggy.
Samantha Hunter says, good evening, John and Jenna. How are you guys and your pets too? I mean, pets are as
the pets are good. Well, they're
in lockup right now.
They're a little upset with us because they're in their crates, but it was pouring rain, and poor Chewy, he's just mad as all get out because he's wet.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to be wet.
A wet dog.
Yeah.
Tommy says, yes, TreeCat limiting business to low volume sellers seems backwards. Even selling 10 a day makes it's 3 to 5 times more expensive than current platforms. But if you take the different features that are going to be baked into the program, then you'd have to reevaluate that statement, because I know for a fact, Posture VA, you're paying $25 a month for, not a week. That would be really expensive.
No, I wouldn't be doing it.
You don't have the ability anywhere, not even on eBay, to schedule an end item / relist for an item. So I want this item. I never want to see it again. There's nothing wrong with the listing. I've checked the listing. The price is right. And I may have it for 2 to 3 months, but I know that it's going to end itself and relist at a, give itself a new item boost every 4 days. You can do it every week, every 29 days. And I don't have to mess with that process again. Land Shark Picker, what's up this afternoon?
What's up?
Not a whole lot, but thanks for being here. Rhiannon says, hey, Jay and J&J and fam, happy Friday. Thank you for being here.
Rhiannon.
Awesome to see you. Tommy says, maybe it's based on how many people actually upload videos. I personally never have. Again, let's just be real about it. When you're showing shoes, you can't show functionality. It just sits there. There's nothing to really show with the video. But, something like the scanner, I can show that it works, right? Show that it has a light that comes on. I wouldn't necessarily use it for that, but it has functionality. Let's say I have a record player, and I've been getting a lot of those lately, and, put a record on there, let it play, let people, maybe it's like a voiceover record. You wouldn't want to do any kind of music, but you guys understand what I'm saying. Let the customer see that it's functional.
Scanner works.
Yeah, scanners always work. This thing's great. Basket Noodles is greetings, sellers.
Greetings.
Thanks for being here. Paul Rose is just a personal thing for how people work. I do things in stages, and everything is ready at list stage. I have multiple screens with pictures up that I use for the description, information, etc. Yep. Mm-hmm. Andy Sometta says, John, Uber Eats is a blessing, app on, belly full. It is.
It's a blessing and a curse in this house.
It is a blessing, but it's also frustrating. Because when these drivers don't do what they're supposed to do, and at least us, we know as drivers in the past what they should be doing. You pick up the food, you drop it off. Unless you have a stop that you're making in between that Uber tells you, then you're expecting it at a certain time. And there's nothing worse than soggy taquitos or whatever else you're having that requires a little, crunch. And we know it's 2 miles away. We make it a point to order from places that are close for that reason. And it's very maddening for no explanation. And you're watching this driver go do the loop around Starbucks. And it's like, okay, we know what you're doing. Silver Hair says, come on, Tommy, a video of you running through the woods with a pair of your sneakers would be equal epic sales. Yes. And then he'd have to say, well, they're no longer new anymore. I just use them for this video. MJ says, always use the iPhone app unless I have to upload a clip to show an item is working. Yep. Basket Noodle says, greetings, John and Jenna.
Greetings.
Nature Made in Utah says,
I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, branched out this year and started to sell only new everyday products. Got rid of all my media CDs and video games. Year one was a learning experience. Yeah. Anything that's plentiful. Look, I'm telling you right now, these hats, we've been talking about it, and we haven't sold a hat in months. We first listed these hats. We were selling them like once every other day. Something changed where hats just aren't selling for us anymore. No longer sourcing hats, but do I bundle hats? You can bundle the hats. Sell them
bundles.
We have had bundles, and those have sold.
We have them.
We still have them. Those aren't selling. But when we did all this, we bundled the ones that were the least desirable hats, and the better ones we listed individually. Those are selling for a while. Now it's like, we're getting into the warmer weather for a lot of people, and people are looking, maybe I need a new hat, right? But where are those people? But they were buying them in the winter. Something stopped those sales. I don't know what it is. Maya says, yeah, Paul, I'm the same way. I'm usually switching between screens and tabs, which is easier on the desktop. I have tabs usually upon tabs open on my computer. Thomas says, Uber Eats 70% of the time leaves our food at a house behind us in a neighborhood. Only Uber Eats. Everyone else is good.
Maybe we're going to have to try a different service.
Maybe we probably will. We have Uber One and all that stuff, and got a good deal on the fees they want to slap on the price. It's usually good, but it's very frustrating when you find yourself having to share a meal because, the one item isn't what it's supposed to be. Basket Noodle lists everything on the PC, easy peasy. Paul says, you can't beat getting the wrong order when they do multiple drops and give you the wrong one. Last time it took me 3 weeks to get refunded partially. Oh. Yeah, that's just bad customer service.
Yeah.
David Pentland from Scotland. Hi, folks, or from Glasgow.
I moved back to Glasgow.
A lot of stock. Gas boiler has been broken. I'll fix a day. Glad to be back in the big city. I'm 100 yards from the auction house where I buy my stock. That's awesome.
That's close.
That's really good. You just got to get a little, like a cart or something.
You get a little golf cart.
Yeah. Basket Noodle says, if I'm at camp, I just use my phone as a hotspot to my laptop if need be. Like when I'm gone at the beginning of May to this little golf retreat that we go on, I won't have any reception. I'll have to go into town just to check my eBay, and hopefully she'll be on it anyway. But Thomas, I don't use condition description at all, only regular description. Why give them 2 chances to not read? Well, no, I'm giving them 2 chances to read. Why give them only 1 chance to read? We're going to flip that around. Noah Design says poo-poo platter. Spam says we use videos on electronics listings. Yes. Hey, here's another one. I was selling. Now this is kind of taboo. You shouldn't do this, but I'll say it knowing that eBay still says you shouldn't do it and they allow it. We had like a bunch of LPs, and we had them like this nice little crate that I bought that has like a little chalkboard. So we had all the country LPs in the crate, and we write country music, 60s, 70s, 80s, right? And I would play a 30-second video of me going through the LPs to show the LPs that I just thought it was a kind of a cool little thing. And of course, those were variation listings. That's the taboo part. Wasn't a lot I was selling. We're selling the as variations. And yes, you're not supposed to do that, but again, it's one of those things that I think Josh and I made a video about months ago, the things that eBay tells you can't do and the things that you can still do, and nothing's usually going to happen to you. Silver Hair Stacker, video of my music box, made the sale, could have sat for 2 years, $60 sale. There you go. Basket Noodle, video, another discussion as retail is innovating integrations online and brick and mortar. Ashley says that she put stuff in, but just copy and paste in the description. But it gives them 2 chances to see it. I really am. If they give me a third option, a third chance for the buyer to see it, I want my buyer to read what I got to say about my item. Paul Rose, John, I use videos, but only on something with moving parts and our audio, etc. Right. How about this? How about using a video to say, guy or sir, ma'am, that's looking to buy this item, please know that there's a scratch right here. See, there's a scratch. Maybe that would work. That's your third opportunity, not just relying on the verbiage in the condition description or the item description. Wonder how that would work. Anybody ever try that, to use the video option to really point out, like, here's a blem. Okay, you're not going to look at the photos. You're not going to read the description. Maybe you'll watch the video. Here's the blem.
Yeah, but if they're not going to look at the picture, what makes you think they're going to play a video?
People like videos. Basket Noodle says the two emerging are parametric views and for clothes being able to see what look like on a person. Yeah, a picture's worth 1,000 words, and how many words is a video worth? Devon Short says it's a girl. What up, noodle heads? Fart sack Jack is back. Whatever happened to Jack is back? Did he turn into fart sack?
He never came back.
He never came back. Ashley Sims, can you add a video from the mobile app, or does it have to be desktop version? Has to be from the desktop. You can't yet add a video from the mobile app, which is kind of crazy to me. They're adding all these features, but you still can't add a video. Basket Noodle, Samsung and another I read of are making cheapy digital glasses, betting on the tech versus the metaverse. And I almost bought some of these Ray-Bans, and I was going to try to maybe make videos, not for this channel, maybe for a third channel or something, but where I have these glasses on that have cameras on the fronts, but everything lined up, 4K video, everything good audio quality. But I read that they only allow you to do 60-second videos. You can do like 32 gigs worth, but it only did 60-second clips. So
that doesn't make it.
No, I mean, that didn't make sense to buy it. That's why I didn't buy it. Andy Someta says, if you need to make your text bigger, just buy a cellular plan, iPad mini, jumbo iPhone. Callie Debs is with us. Hi, everyone. I'm late. Just got home. My sales have picked up finally. Well, Yay! There you go. There you go.
The light on the sign is out. So that must have been earlier.
Okay. Who knows anymore?
Who knows? You blow on it and it freaking just decides to wig out.
Thomas says, I just used Seller Hub on app or my Chrome shortcut on eBay. Haven't found anything yet I can't do, but have never done videos. Yeah, that's the one thing you can't do.
I don't think you need to do
videos. You don't need to do videos. I don't see how that would really benefit you, but there's a lot of folks who it would. I like to use it when it's appropriate. Fart Sack says, any way to search drafts?
I thought there was.
I know that gives you a list on the app, and you just scroll down and find it that way. But I know you can on the PC.
Any person could figure that out, that you could just scroll to the thing you're looking for. But I think his point is there a search?
Are you being smart now?
I am, because you said something really dumb.
Okay. What's new? It's like, come on. You tune in, not for me being perfect here. Mike says, videos are great, except you have to wait up to 48 hours for eBay to approve them. By then I forget if it's approved. The listing does go live without them, though.
Yeah.
It does. And then it's for review. Usually it's like a day, and it's in there. Basket Noodle, if you read the Retail Association websites, you'll see where e-commerce is headed. Well, the pandemic has conditioned many people into, buying online. And I really think that it's going to remain a thing. I really think that brick and mortar at some point are going to be limited to the very, very large, like Walmarts. I'm surprised that Best Buy has even hung on as long as they have. So I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of that go away. Lisa Nia says, my PC only here too. Yesterday refreshed my manage active listings page and it was showing none. Number showed 02, took a few refreshes and they showed up what they had. I think that was the same thing that Maya and Paul were talking about earlier. Ashley Sims says, I prefer desktop because I'm a fast typer. Phone slows me down. Use it for pictures and research only. Yes. But you can, on the phone, you can go into, if you want to create an item description, you can tap into there and then your dictation, your voice to text option on your phone, you click on that and then you just say what you want to say about the item and then leave it at that. You don't have to type anything. Jerry Johnson says, I would love to do videos for some of my listings, but have not figured out how to get the video from my Android phone to my PC so that'll work on eBay site correctly. Any suggestions? I got to say that we use Dropbox. Yeah, Dropbox, and it's something that we use for YouTube. We use it for eBay. And if, for instance, I'm too lazy where I'm working on the second eBay account, I don't want to log out and log into that account. I'll just send the photos over to Dropbox, and then I'm logged in the second eBay store here, and I'm just uploading the photos that I've sent over through Dropbox. It's like $10 a month. Kelly says, Lisa, it's been a known issue for months. And Lisa says everything is a known issue at this point. I agree. We're all beta testers, and we're all kind of figuring that out, what the obstacles are. Jack says, if I sell a 90,000 pair of shoes,
I think it's supposed to be
$90 pair of shoes with shipping, will they have to go to authentication? Anything over $75.
Well, Tommy says no.
Well, but there's factors involved. Yeah. The dollar threshold is $75, but if it's not the model or brand that's on their little list there, it'll tell you as soon as you try to set that price point, it'll tell you if that is going to be authenticated or not. And there he goes. See, it depends on the brand and model. Mm-hmm. Andy Someta says, Mike, I passed up on the Vivo Sun 10x10 grow tent. Some dude in the city is giving me a deal on 5 gorilla tents. Interesting.
Drumstick, Jenna?
Tommy says, I sell tons of shoes over $100 that don't go to authentication. Yeah, if it's not on that list that they have, then you're good. And it could be because their staff is only able to authenticate or experts with certain brands / models.
Don't read it.
I won't read it, but I'll let someone else read it. Ashley says, guilty as charged on the old phone. I use a 6S.
Oh, my goodness.
But have an 11 coming next week. I'm not going to know what to do.
I know. You're going to be, even 11 is still a little dated, but you're going to be so much.
It's going to be a lot different.
It's going to be so different.
Mad Hatter Brett says, I sell 180 items a month. What is the cost per sale going to be? What is the amount of sales to get discounted price? And if the POS sharing is free, that is a great feature. Yeah, so
I think they answer it.
Okay, so hopefully they'll have the answer to you on that.
I think Michelle's in I don't know if she's still here, but I know she was in this conversation.
Okay.
Right here.
Okay, so billings for 200 sales is $63.90. But that is you at your $63.90. That's with a discount. So you're above. You're beyond the 50 cent per listing. The price goes down per sale as you increase your volume. Thomas, 60% or more of users are app users. That's up every year. I have a feeling that makes up top priority. It does. And of course, eBay is going to tout the fact that they are technology driven and AI driven. And here's our great fancy shiny app. But again, eBay would do themselves a service by making sure that what they do, regardless of the platform, is done right, without problems, without errors, without glitches. Get that part done before you start adding new features. Jack says, I had no idea it was a brand and model. Got some sweet new balance size 16, new no box. But you're going to find that that size 16, I think I have a size 14 pair of Adidas. I haven't listed yet, but it's like, okay, I got such a great deal on it. May not find the unicorn buyer for that pair of shoes the way I would find a buyer for it, a size 12. Let's see. No One Design Ken says, on 99% on PC, as long as my listing still shows correctly on the app, I don't care. Big Dre says, last time I was in the storage unit, I heard loud, intense music and grunting. I went to go check it out and saw a tractor tire with chains in the hallway. Then a guy popped out doing jumping jacks. Okay. SCG Collectibles. TreeCat has been helping me with all my issues I have been having. Love their platform. Still trying to learn all the nuances, though. And that's just it. With any new tool, there is always a learning curve. But once you get past the learning curve, then you understand that the power of that particular tool and how useful it is to do a lot of the things you would go into eBay for. So, learning that if you want to have all your items that you have cross-posted connected when you do an end/relist or delist/relist, then you wouldn't do that in eBay. So you'd have to kind of relearn a process a little bit. but once you do it just works. Tommy says, Basket Noodle, I haven't looked for a seller buyer breakdown on the app users yet, though, but I don't see the website being the long play personally if they want to grow. But they can't alienate their core base that's been with eBay for, many people have been selling for 20 plus years. And unfortunately, many people just don't want to change their processes to use an app when it still works fine for them on the PC. Samantha says, John, when you sell your golf clubs, are they used or new? Do you clean them or is sold as is? I know you mentioned how you use AI to butter up the photos. I clean my clubs every time. Sometimes they're beat up. Sometimes they have dirt. Sometimes you got to get in there with a brush and, some cleaner and just clean them up real good. But if I could, I'd show you some photos. But the background looks really, really sharp. Now I do close-ups on the grooves of the club. Any places that look like they're maybe banged up a little bit, I make a point to do zooms. So I think zooms are very important so they can see for themselves the condition. And I tell them, please look at the photos because this is part of the description. And I've had nothing but great feedback. I mean, there's a couple sets I thought were kind of questionable. And they got them and like, yeah, these are great. Love my clubs. It's like, okay. I mean, maybe it's because I'm a golfer. I have different standards.
Because you are a snob when it comes to your clubs.
Yes, I am. It doesn't help me any, but I do like taking care of my clubs. And it just astounds me that people would spend $200 to $300 for a set of clubs that are looks like someone tried to wrap them around a tree. But, who am I? Ashley says, we've had bad tornadoes here in Ohio last night. My area dodged a bullet, went just north of us.
Oh,
can't deal with tornadoes. Especially, we're at the movie theater and we're seeing that new movie coming out, Twisters or whatever the heck.
Twisters,
yeah. Is it Twisters? Yeah, it looks like, but I don't live out that way. Big Dre says he converted the storage unit into his own personal gym.
Who did?
There's a guy that had chains and stuff in the storage unit, was making, you got to do what you got to do, Maybe, you're thinking if he has a storage unit, he's spending what? $30, $40, $50 a month on that thing. You can't get a plan at a gym for cheaper than that. That doesn't make sense. Maya says, for anyone getting distracted listing on the PC, just downloaded the Chrome extension, stay focused and use the nuclear option while you work. It blocks every website except the ones you approve. Yeah, but I'm not really all that distracted with other sites. But for me, I do use Gemini. So if I can't find a lot of information about an item, I'll go in there and copy and paste my title and say, hey, build me an item description for this pre-owned item. And it'll do it for me. And I'll read through it and then copy, paste it in there. It has it usually will put it in bullet points for you. But if I had that blocking me from doing things like that, it would kind of be in the way. Biff says, I started tracking my 30-day, 90-day, and 180-day trends. I try not to dwell on good day, bad day. It's not a productive thinking. Yeah. It's just, it's a batch of days, weekly, monthly, depending on how you want to look at it. But if you start looking at daily, it'll make you crazy just to try to understand, why did I sell $1,000 yesterday and I can't even send an offer today. I don't have anyone that's watching. It's just really frustrating. See, I knew something was up with Ohio. Ohio is where my husband is from. We live in Idaho.
I know, but you read it as if she said it was, I think, 59 in Ohio. She clearly said Idaho. I think your eyes just like to.
I am super fast. Sometimes I read too fast before I speak. TreeCat says, I would love to get more ideas for videos that can help people better understand the nuances. Let me know if you have any great ideas for me. One thing that they have told me, and nobody has taken them up on this. They've removed it from their homepage and the website on TreeCat's website. But if you want 1 year free of cross-listing on TreeCat, first you want to get on there, use it. So you can identify, if you like the product or not, then make a video. And I don't know if there's necessarily a minimum or maximum, just enough for a 60-second short form video if you want, about why you enjoy TreeCat. What is it about that product that you like? And they will give you a year of the service, but you have to, of course, send it to them and get in touch with them to send it on. So if you are looking to do that, save yourself a little bit money for this next year. Be one of the first 20, and they will take care of you. But of course, you got to sign up. Use the link down below so you can get set up that way. Tommy says, Biff, that's the best way to be. If I track daily, only I'd be in a straight jacket after the last 2 weeks of paying next to no attention to eBay. Yeah. EVS says, I'm old school and OCD. Write descriptions in docs on desktop, copy paste onto a listing draft. Keep doc in desktop. Always have in case. Have 100 items in the store. My fingers and eyesight frustrate in app. See, that's just it. I mean, if you make everyone focus on the app, not everyone's going to be able to, or it might be enough to make people just stop. I don't know. And I never heard that eBay is going to totally do away with supporting on the desktop. I'm not saying that, but it makes you wonder why their main focus is only. I know, Tommy, it's 60 plus users, but you're still alienating the ones who don't use it. Tommy, I get what videos are for. I'm just saying, I wonder overall the percentage of sellers who use videos. Yeah, I'm seldomly do I use them, but when I see the opportunity and if it makes sense, then I will use it. Paul says, don't laugh, Jenner. Soggy will be the next buzzword. Soggy's not so bad.
Soggy's not as bad.
Soggy's not so bad. Larry Todd says, I put video on everything with moving parts or show stereo components playing, great for Bose, Sony, etc. And Maya's video is good for demonstrating an issue with an item. Maybe it's making a weird noise, right? Maybe it's functional, but it just makes this annoying noise. And maybe someone knows how to fix these things. You can now demonstrate by allowing them to see that it works, but it's making this weird noise.
And maybe that person who's going to buy it knows how to fix that noise.
Yeah. They could think, you know what, that's an easy fix. I've seen that before. But if just your photos, they wouldn't have known. And it's hard to describe, certain things like that in your listing. Samantha Hunter, Jenna, your makeup is definitely on point. I agree. Jenna, I just want to say I appreciate you and thank you. John, you're a lucky man to have Jenna sending good fortunes.
Thank you, Samantha.
So I'm going to go to the casino now since she's sending good fortunes. Mark says, John,
we're just at the casino.
I know. John, Jenna's looking so good tonight. I hope you do the right thing and take her out to dinner and a show. We went to go see Dune 2 this week.
You, Mark.
We're trying to integrate like movie night, and that's kind of fun.
Yeah, we went. No,
this week we went on.
No, it wasn't last night. It was the night before.
Yeah. Mike says only 3 sales so far, 12 to go by EOD. Oh well, at least one sale was 160. There you go. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking you mean by end of day. Tommy says drummer probably a market. Anything pets people, especially in cities, pay a fortune for. Yes, we buy a lot of pet things that we sell, and they sell very quickly. Samantha says, I'm scheduled to do some new listing for eBay. I think my items at present are stale. I need to source, but can't. Working on my death pile. I need good pieces. Oh, John, have you used video yet? Yeah, I've used the video a few times. I've used it, but it's really few and far between. It just really depends on the situation. If I really need to drive home, there's an issue, or, hey, I really want them to see how this functions, then I'll make a video for that. Let's see. Thomas says, how many times do you have measurements and pics and they send a message for measurements?
Oh my God.
All the time. Yeah. But how many people, by having those measurements in the photo, found the information they were looking for, even though you had it listed in the description and didn't have to message you? Mm-hmm. So there's always going to be that dodo bird that, here we go, another weird word.
That's a different word.
But
for you,
that dodo bird buyer who just refuses to do more than glance at your listing, and instead of looking for the information in the listing, they send you a message.
I had somebody ask that same question on a listing that was in Poshmark, and it took every ounce of me to not say, did you not look at the pictures?
Yeah, it's frustrating. Larry Todd has a foot fetish. Video of me taking these shoes off my toe jam feet. Can you imagine that? It's like, how do you avoid making sales? How do you push your buyer away? That's exactly how you do it, Tommy. You show the corns and all, no socks, slipping right in and out of that shoe, and that's a way to lose buyers. EVS says, yes, I point out flaws in videos and description, but videos of tools with brand names get rejected. I'm selling the X's tools, LOL.
Yes, make money.
Drummer says it's a right pain. You ever get can you measure the inside of the shoe size?
Oh my God.
That's a block. It's
That's
like
a block. Yeah, I don't even pay them any attention.
Thomas says anyone that wants Seller Hub on app, just go to help, then type Seller Hub and search, and boom, you have the full eBay site. That's a good tip. Thank you for that.
Don't you do that?
I go into the browser. I type in ebay.com. It makes me sign in, go through all that. But I'll have to try that on the app. Not funny says I tried video and it says size too big or something. I gave up. So if you're taking video at I think 4K, I think you have like 30 seconds. You can't go any further than that. If you're doing it 1080p, you could maybe do like 40, 45 seconds. So keep your videos brief and it should work. Let's see. Maya says a week ago, a buyer on Mercari sent me a question asking if the jeans were black. They were black in the photo and the title and the description.
I mean, people just...
But now, were they... See, sometimes you're taking photos, though, your photos could be washed out a little bit. Were they kind of gray or like a charcoal color from the lighting? That may have had them ask that question?
Yeah, but it was in the title and the description.
I understand. But they're like, I see the title, I see the description, but if it's more charcoal than dark black, maybe I don't want it. Bearded PokeTuber, that's how I've been using Terapeak on the app, Tommy. Super convenient. And Samantha says, John, not to get too much into it, but do you think TikTok on blast, do we stand a chance of more views, more sales? No, I don't know if there's a correlation between what they're trying to get rid of TikTok and
I think she's just referring to TikTok Shop.
Oh.
TikTok Shop is very profitable.
Yeah, I don't know a whole lot about the TikTok. Utilizing social media to make sales, I haven't ventured like to Instagram or to, in this case, TikTok to put my items up for sale. I just haven't. Tommy says text replacement is a game changer. 4 letters, it does a whole description unless there's something very unique I need to manually add. Lots of good things there. Matt, you see they are integrating Terapeak into the app, and they are. Biff says, I've bookmarked my Seller Hub on Safari since the new app has become worthless this year. I mean, it just depends. It depends on how you use it. There's many people that swear by it and feel differently about it. Jack Emo says, got my first negative after giving a partial, offered a refund of $205 back and just removed the feedback. He made a reply to the feedback saying I bribed him. Never met such a nasty buyer. Wow. You gotta love people. All you can really do there is just leave a professional reply. That's all you can do. Maya says, yeah, that's why partial refunds aren't even worth it. They can still nag you. So what's the point? And it used to be that if you gave them a full refund, then eBay would, in a day or two, they would remove the negative feedback, but they're not even doing that anymore. Bearded PokeTuber says, I saw that, Tommy. Wonder how long till we actually get it. My app has been switching between the old and new layout on a damn near daily basis last week.
Mine does it like hourly. It's the weirdest thing. In the morning, it's one way. Then an hour or two later, I'll check it again, and it's another way. It does it all day long. It flip-flops.
But it's weird, though, because usually if you have 2 different versions of an app on your phone, you have to download that version, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to change within the same version of the app. It's really weird.
But it's doing that, and it's weird.
Tommy says, I don't even think it's a list. This is regarding the need for authentication on shoes. I think it's a switch depending on sales volume they have incoming on what they let go. I can't find a rhyme or reason. Hard to say. Let's see. Samantha says, statement, eBay doesn't give large sellers credit or age sellers credit. We take so much from buyers at times. eBay customers are novice at best, and we have to provide an experience to help them return and shop eBay. Yeah, and let's see, and we get beat up for it. I agree, but your buyer today, as difficult as they could be, is going to possibly be my buyer tomorrow. So I want you, I'm vested and interested in you taking care of and providing that buyer with the best service possible. And then when I get that buyer, it's my turn. That way, so many times in the last, heck, that I can remember doing this full time, last 5 years, you get people like somebody once a month that will contact you in just such a nasty way. And you wonder yourself, why are they starting off the conversation just so hostile? And it's because they've already set in their mind that they're going to get a non-responsive seller, a seller that doesn't understand what they're saying or is going to be dismissive, maybe a seller that's going to be defensive, and not someone that's going to be professional. So they already start off the conversation thinking that's the case. So we all need to collectively do better and getting these buyers to understand. Now, we're not going to all be able to do it, but the more people that make that a point to do, I think it's going to help collectively the entire community's selling experience. Tommy, I rarely have 100% feedback. Just reply to feedback with sensible explanation. If they didn't violate any policies, to get it removed. If they violated any policies like threatening or calling you names, probably meant he or she can get it removed. Yeah.
Are you a he or she?
Maya says, yeah, Jack, I think it's against policy anyway to tell buyers to remove feedback in exchange for a partial. That's the opposite of feedback extortion. That is kind of like bribery, is, silver hair, learning curve, 6 to 8 years. Where does the curve end? It never ends.
It doesn't.
There is no rainbow at the end of that curve, or no pot of gold at the end of that curve. Jackie Mo says, a thing is, why won't eBay want us to give more partials? They still get paid, and return waste money or will just be thrown out. But my message is, try to shy away from partials if you can. It's a remedy, I believe, that you can offer a buyer when you acknowledge you've screwed up. But if a buyer comes at you, especially with no photos to show or prove that you screwed up, saying, hey, this happened, and I think the fair thing to do is to give me $20 back. Well, no, return the item. We don't, you're trying to change the terms of the sale. Mm-hmm. And I think we also need to stand our ground when it comes to that, because we are training these buyers to get nasty with us when they first interact. By the way we interact with them, we're also training these buyers to fish for partial refunds when it's not warranted. So I would like to offer a buyer the partial refund because I see there's a problem, right? But when a buyer comes at me with a partial refund suggestion, I always turn that off. It's usually not going to happen. Maya says, Tommy, I meant because he said in his first post, Jack offered to refund $205 and just remove the feedback. Maybe I'm confused. But I think he said, hey, if you remove the negative, I'll give you the rest of the money back, kind of thing. Not sure if eBay likes that or not. Jack says, they did call for another item. I reported eBay, but I haven't heard anything back. Maya's, thanks, mentioning feedback and refunds within the same message with buyers just asking for trouble. Rep may think you're actually extorting the buyer. Yeah, maybe. Chastity says, a question for TreeCat. Does videos come over when importing from eBay? I ask because when I relist from other cross-posting apps, it doesn't relist with the video. I have to edit it on eBay. That is a good question. I know that there was a question someone
answered it.
Okay, I'll get this says, we currently do not support video. Good idea, though. I'll pass that along to our team. And the cool thing about TreeCat is, look, they get feedback like this. You better believe they're going to be looking into trying to make that work down the line in the future. So it's a growing tool, and it's only getting better.
The great part of it all is that they listen, because you're part of their growth. If you succeed, they succeed. And a lot of the things that we try to implement and talk about, they're open to it. It may not come tomorrow or next week or even 6 months from now, but it can be on the to-do list, and they'll get there. I think that's a great way to do business and to get people to really invest in the product. And because you're not just another, deposit for them, you are actually a business running a business, and you're all part of the same idea.
Yeah. Paul Rose says, part of what we put up with, have a vintage limited edition Aliens poster print signed by comic artist and professionally framed, glazed large. Buyer asked if I'd sell it unframed, 2-year-old AC, no feedback. Nope. Don't break that. I wouldn't break it up. EVS says, yes, made a video of dented skillet frying pan. Buyer's feedback said restored and it works great. Okay. Wolfman's Goodies with us says, hello, reselling neighbors. Hey, real quick, Beard, are you doing your live tonight? And
he's trying to. He told you earlier to start skipping because you're already.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. Christy says, I use videos for electronics. Takes the video and email it to myself. Do most listings on the PC, and I agree with that statement right there, Kent. 100%.
Spot on.
That's the smartest thing I think you've ever said. Just kidding. Noah Design says, John, lose the 3rd grade words. We're all adults here. Time to use grown-up words.
Yeah. You and your poo-poo platter and
yes.
your dodo head.
Dodo bird.
I mean, honestly, what is happening to you?
Well, we got kids watching. Bearded Picker says, taking off your shoes and smelling the moist socks.
Oh,
there you go.
Dang.
When they smell like popcorn, that's bad. Tommy says, you just lost a subscriber talking bad about foot fetishes. Bye, Andy Someta. Wow. Oh, wow. Andy says, Tommy started doing lives. Don't you dare ruin my standing in becoming his friend. I have until October to convince him to meet me. Would it be hung next to Bonafide Hustler's foot? Andy, okay. What are you talking about? Not Funny says, my app changes depending on what draft I'm looking at. Jerry says, on different monitors and phone colors can appear different. Ordered a pair of boots on eBay and description said brown, but they appeared black. Checked with the seller, they confirmed they were brown.
Yeah.
No One Designs says, I'll leave the customer service for you, John. My crackheads just use template replies and move on. And that's why these buyers get, all irate to start the conversation. They don't want to deal with the template response. Dark Horse Productions. How are you guys? Cooler heads prevail. Smile and say thank you. You have to charge what's reasonable. I used to say, I like to eat right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be a better person. People on social media can really set me off. Yeah. And tune in to tomorrow's Profit Playbook podcast in the morning, 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 Eastern. We do talk about customer service and the acronym LAST, L-A-S-T. Paul Rose, I noticed on my second account today, it says, usually it responds within 6 hours. I usually respond within minutes. They don't build us up, do they? No. But they don't. It's better. It's called setting an expectation for the buyer, so that if you don't deliver within 6 hours, maybe you deliver on the 6th hour, they're not PO'd about it. It's under promising and over delivering for the buyer. Let's see. Buyer today bought 4 items. Said, I have a lovely store. No hurry on shipping. We never return. I am adopting her and putting her in my will. But there's certain buyers that are just like that. They look, I don't care. When you're selling a lot of needs like we do, it's like, I need the toilet seat now. And I understand. We get it out as quick as possible. Dark Horse Productions, you have standards and terms. Stick with them. If they see you get loose with it, they'll take advantage. They will.
Absolutely.
We got Larry Way Out. Thanks for being here, Larry Way Out.
There's your answer.
Have a new 5th of salted caramel crown for tonight. So it should get a little spicy on the show. And you notice
even more chaos.
You notice I really haven't had to skip today. That's really, really awesome. Noah Design says, kids, I don't think Roman is here today. Where is Roman at?
He's probably working out. He
might be in his storage unit. PPP, Profit Playbook Podcast. You know me. No Designs have never had a buyer say my replies are boring. Kent says, Texas Visa approved.
This is why you can't skip, because now
I didn't really skip. I did not really skip. I skipped the sidebars, but I'm not really skipping. Promise you I'm not. Dark Horse says, I picked up a new client in my IT services stuff, and she said, I love your logo and was very happy with my work on her laptop.
Nice.
Dark Horse also says it feels nice when someone notices the work you put in. It always does.
Yes.
And it's always nice to get feedback from a buyer when you do something like reply quickly, or it's nice to see feedback. It's like sometimes it feels like the feedback is over the top, but it's kind of nice to see it. Beard says this show's been disappointing. No moist flap screen names tonight. No, what's happened with all the moist people?
Well, I did block a couple.
Oh, okay. Christine Anderson, thanks for being here today. It's
Christine.
lose, not loose. Stop with third grade misspelling and use adult words. I agree with that statement, Ken. Focusing on my use of dodo bird and not using the word
where
loose.
are you getting these words?
You know what? Spice up the channel.
That is not spicy.
I will not use dodo bird again. It's just a one-time thing. So if you didn't get a chance to tune in today, you won't get the dodo bird vocabulary from me.
Really
Lenny K says, I was just checking into the TikTok shop. You can set up a store and shipping is comparable to Poshmark. It sounds interesting. Need more info though, but it's probably going to go out of business very soon. If they just banned, I believe, I'm not sure Congress voted or not, but it's very close to being banned.
TikTok shop is only for new items. Just FYI, I don't know what you sell, but
No One Design says, can we use dank instead of moist? Moist is still worse. And moist duck?
okay.
I don't know what that is.
All right.
Shopping with Cheryl says, John will have the word of the week. Yes.
Yeah.
And Maya says, I don't think they banned TikTok yet, but they're working on it. But speaking of that, we've got FedEx is finally showing up here, and we are at the end of chat. And I did so without having to skip Scott. Now, speaking of Scott, Bearded Picker, go over to his channel in about, I'd say, 20 minutes. Yeah, about 20 minutes. And he's going to be doing his live. I might drop in. I've got some things I got to get done. So at some point, I'll probably drop in to say hi. And here's Tommy's wondering, where's Bean? Heard he's killing it. Waiting for the return of the chiseled chin Canadian. Lots going on with Josh. It shouldn't come from me, but he's doing well. And, maybe we'll see him on as a guest on the podcast or something at some point down the road. But he's doing well, and everything is great with him. So stay tuned. Don't know if he's going to have a presence on social media or with his YouTube channel. Haven't really gotten that answer from him, but just stay tuned with that. But in the meantime, again, go take a potty break after we're done here. And then I said potty. Again, you're getting the dodo bird combo here. Go and take a break. Come back to Bearded Picker's channel here in about 15, 20 minutes, and we'll continue the discussion over there.
Look, I got a new chair.
And I want you guys to have an excellent weekend. Get those sales, guys. Get those yard sales. And we will talk to you guys on Monday's live.
Happy St. Patrick's Day.
Yes. Wear green, everyone.